Hi, I'm Amelia and this is my YouTube channel. So this is like the third or fourth time I've had to record this because first time round my chair was really squeaky, don't know why it's really squeaky, and then the second time around I had a mascara stain, a tear down the side of my face. So I hope this goes okay. So this is just a little introduction as I haven't actually shown my face and I don't think I've talked on this channel yet. So hello, I'm Amelia, I'm 25, I'm from the Black Country. I currently work in events and I do my art on the side, so I do it on the weekends, in the evenings, whenever I have time to do so. I have been doing art since I was a child, so I can't remember a day where I haven't done art. I started taking this account, so Amelia Fox Art, seriously about a year ago. So I had a TikTok that did quite well, and since then I've took it a little bit more seriously. So I've been posting quite regularly on social media, so TikTok, Instagram, and then recently I've started to do YouTube. So here I am. I'm trying to do longer form content, just as I realised I watch a lot of YouTubers and I watch a lot of artists on YouTube rather than on TikTok. So I still watch people on TikTok, but I normally follow the people on YouTube first and then I follow them on like Instagram and then probably TikTok last. So I thought I'll give it a go, see what it's like. I hate talking on camera, I hate sounding my voice, so we shall see how this goes. I have been doing a range of things. So in my, I'm going to call it art studio. Can I call it art studio? It's my spare bedroom in my house. So half of it is my fiance's, which is over here. So it's like a gaming station room, which I did for his birthday last year. And then this side, this other half of the room, I say half, probably like 3/4, because it did take over quite a bit, is my like art space. So I have things from like clay, glazes, paint, pencils, crocheting, wool, like, you know, I've probably got it screen printed, I've got everything. So as you can tell, I have a lot of hobbies. I get bored quite easily, so I switch between hobbies. So like 1 month I'll be focusing on, so last month was screen printing and this month I don't know what it's going to be. It's a new month, so let's find out. But painting has always been the one that I've consistently done throughout the years. So ever since I was 16 I've been painting and I've improved since then, because when I started I was awful. I couldn't paint. I really couldn't paint. I started really painting when I was in sixth form, when I was doing my A-level art and design. So this is before I moved to doing a BTEC in art and design, because A-levels were just not for me. I can't do exams. I'm not academically good at that kind of thing. I'm better at practical stuff. So I started painting then, but I think I did gouache on like canvas, which makes my skin crawl just thinking about it now. And then I slowly progressed onto like acrylics, and I went through a phase where I was doing oils during my BTEC. I like oils, but the drying process it's so long and I'm impatient. Like I want to gloss it the same day. So I really love acrylics. So acrylics is my thing. As you can see, all these paintings behind me are acrylic. I do like doing watercolour. So watercolour and gouache I love, but I do it on paper, so not canvas. I love doing water and gouache paintings of Studio Ghibli scenes. Love Studio Ghibli for the music, for the scenery, for the stories. I think it's just beautiful, so I like to paint the scenery of that. I started out doing art mainly of eyes, so I went through a phase where I loved doing eyes, just painting, drawing eyes. Then it moved on to like portraits. I was quite good for a while doing portraits, and it moved on to hands. Don't know why, just hands took my fancy, so I started painting hands, and then it progressed to landscapes. So I think about 2018 is when I started doing landscapes a little bit more. So I went to university in Lincoln and I painted like the scene out of my bedroom, and then I just kept doing it until I got better and better over the years. I've only recently, I'd say, got better at painting landscapes. I've become a lot more looser with my painting, a lot more free, and I'm starting, I think to find my style. It's taken a long time. I used to Google and used to go on YouTube like how to find your art style, how to do this, blah 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 blah, and they always used to say practice, and used to be like, oh, that's so boring, I want to find it now. But after a good God knows how many years, I've just started to find my style. I think, I mean, styles change, like next year I'll probably do something completely different, but at the minute I think I found my style. I think I like to do them on canvas board, so this is one I've just done, so you'll see it later on in the video. Or do I want to spoil that? Actually no, I won't show you that one. I'll show you another one that I've done, so you can see what a canvas board is compared to like a normal canvas, if you haven't already seen one. So this is probably one of my favourite canvases that I've ever done. So I got this image off of Pinterest and decided to paint it. It's not exactly the same as the image, it's a little bit different, so I'm not copying everything. But yeah, so that's my favourite one. So it's on a canvas board, which means it's like very thin compared to, say, a typical like canvas. When someone says a canvas, this is what you think of. So it's like, what's that, box canvas? I know it's a circle, but like a box canvas. So it's a little bit different, but I prefer doing on canvas boards. I just find them the more sturdy, and I just like the feel of knowing that I'm not like, if I press too hard on a canvas, because I can be quite like forceful with my paint strokes, I'm scared of going through the canvas, but a canvas board is perfect. And whenever I do workshops, I always get everyone to do their paintings on the canvas board because I think they're perfect. And if I was introduced to canvas boards earlier, I would have used them a lot more. So this video is going to be a bit random, so it's a bit of everything. So I actually had a really good day out, so I filmed a little bit for YouTube. Some of the scenery was like aesthetic, so I thought, yeah, let me film this. So I'll include my day throughout, like short clippings of the video, and then at the end I'll do a little time lapse of the painting that I did that I was going to show. So you can see me painting that. So whilst I show you what I painted earlier for a time lapse, I will talk over, so I'll give tips, tricks, what I'm doing, explain why I'm doing it, that kind of thing, so you can follow along. I'll also probably be chatting like I am now. So enjoy. This is my first vlog, so please be nice. Let me know in the comments if you want to see anything else or what you'd like to learn. I've got a few video ideas in mind, so I'll be posting them over the month. I'm not going to stick to a schedule because I know I'm like, I will post whenever I can. So yeah, I'll be posting some point this month, some point. But yeah, let me know how you found this video, any comments, any feedback. Please be nice. Post below and enjoy the video.
We will be calling at Sandwell and Dudley, Smithick, Bolton Bridge.
I always start all of my landscape paintings by doing the sky. I prefer to do this because if the sky goes wrong, it kind of messes up the rest of the picture, and plus if you make any like errors or any mistakes, you can always do the foreground a little bit higher up, or if you wanted to cover something, you can do a mountain a little bit taller. So I start with the background, which I add 2 tones of colours, and then whilst wet, so when I use acrylic, it stays quite wet for a while, but then you just dry it quick if it's quite sunny or if it's quite warm. So whilst it's still wet, I have a big fluffy blending brush that I blend out together, so that's where you can see the purple and the orange blending down to the bottom. I then go over the top with a dark, like the lilac with a little bit of black, so it creates like this dark colour for the clouds, and I just splodge them all over, and then I go in with a slightly lighter colour to add a little bit of highlights in the clouds, before finally going back in with not complete white, but just a little bit whiter lilac, so that gives it the final glow. You'll also see in a minute that I'll do a little sun at the bottom. So when I do a sun, I always like to do the clouds that are around it or near it almost yellow and white, just so you can see like the brightness of the sun rising. And I'll also use that colour in the nearest cloud next to it, so it can kind of give it that yellow sun glow to it. I'm sure there's a better word to use than that, but just so it can give it that effect. Whilst I'm on the topic of painting and landscapes, I thought I'd do a little shameless plug. I have a workshop, so a landscape painting workshop, that's taking place on the 21st of June. So if anyone is interested, it is currently taking place at the RSPB site that's at Samar Valley. It is 2 hours long. I go at a slow pace so everyone can understand what we're doing, how it works. It is not an intense workshop. It's very chilled and very relaxed. I will leave some links in the description below if anyone is interested. You can book on tickets. Tickets are now open. Any questions, let me know. I've now moved on to starting the mountains. So with the mountains, you'll need to start with your darkest colour, as the darkest colour is going to be the background. So it's the point of the mountain which gets no light from the sun, so it'll need to be really dark. I do the two mountains that you'll see in a minute in the same colour just because they're at the same point in the picture, so they'll roughly be the same colour in person if you saw them. I then moved on to the mountain in the foreground. Now you'll notice I made this slightly a different colour or a little bit lighter. That's just because when you see mountains in the distance, they do tend, although they're quite dark, they do tend to become a little bit more faded. So I added a little bit of white and blue into this mountain, so it kind of gives the perspective that it's a little bit further away. You can't really see it that well in this video, but I promise you it is that colour. This is a really fun bit of the painting. So the very, very front of the painting is almost all the same colour before you add in all the highlights and the different tones in. So you can just literally dab your paintbrush and paint it all one coat, and it's quite satisfying after trying to keep all the paint in one certain area. So I just cover all this in the same green. It's probably the only aspect of landscape painting that I'm still not the best at is painting grass. I think I have like one or two paintings that I've done that I'm happy with how the grass looks. I don't know why. I need to keep practicing at it. So although it does look like a green blob kind of disaster right now, it does get better. Once I added in all the green, I then went in with a lighter shade of that same green that I was using, just to add a little bit of depth into the grass. There is no certain way I did this. I just kind of did it as I felt, or as I felt the grass would look. So don't copy what I'm doing. Find your own method, but if it works, do what I'm doing. But I'm just quite sporadic with it. I then moved on to doing the trees, which you can see now. That green was very similar to the green that I used for the mountains as well, because I had a lot left over. So again, you start with the dark colour and then you go in a little bit lighter colour on top until you get to the bright shade that you're happy with. I never use white in trees unless it's in like a snowy scenery, but never use white on the trees just because it looks really weird. I've then gone back to the mountains to add in lighter shades colours to give it that bit of depth, so it looks like there's trees growing on the mountains. So I start with, again, a similar colour to the grass, so splodging that in. I use a quite, I don't know how to word it, but a distressed looking brush, as it kind of gives the best effect for the trees, as you just kind of dip your paintbrush, dry it out a little bit, and then just splodge all over the mountain. I use this green as well in the grass area, again to give it a little bit more depth, to make it look like there's actually a little bit of movement in the grass and it's just not one flat playing field. and then that's the final painting. So I'm not happy with how orange the sky is. I probably should have gone back in and lightened that up a little bit, but overall it was a nice quick warm-up painting. But thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.